Hey everyone, and welcome to another video from UK Coaster Fan. So there was a conference on Saturday at Energylandia regarding what's happening next year at the park. So we've got tons of updates regarding this Aqualantis area. We actually now know that the double launch coaster is going to be called Abyssus and not Aqualantis itself. That's been updated on RCDB, so that's all correct. So Aqualantis next year, we've got loads of new visualizations. Got some more looks of the train. It's a real nice boat themed train. Is there going to be a splashdown section? I don't know. That's not really in the POVs we've seen so far. So it might be more of sort of misters in some of the tunnels or something like that. But you'll probably get wet at some point, I would have thought, because obviously that's the theme. Yeah, we've got a restaurant area, this outdoor patio area here, and what really surprised me is that we are getting kind of more steampunk intermixed with this whole Atlantis theme, really. So kind of interesting. This looks really cool. It's almost like there's lightning in the ceiling, so I don't know if there's going to be some kind of special effects at the start of the first launch. That would be quite cool, obviously. So let's go on here. This is the shop in the Aqualantis area. I think it's had an interesting name that we'll see in a minute. Merchant of Aqualantis, I think it was. So that's more of the train, and there's going to be another ride, slow boat ride. So that'll be interesting. I think that the boats look awesome. That's a real nice steampunk theme there. So let's move on. Some cartoon visualizations here. Another ride, sort of splash battle, and they're calling it a Whirlpool Water Fight. It's a figure of 8, and I guess you can board those little boats at any area, and then you just make this figure of 8 that just intertwines with itself, really. So you'll probably get soaking wet if this keeps going on for a while, I would assume. With all the people hitting you from different ends. Another ride is a disco coaster. RCDB doesn't class these kinds of rides as roller coasters as such. There's one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach I've done called Avatar Airbender that doesn't have this extra hell. I think Zamperla makes these. From what I remember, I could be wrong. But the one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach I really enjoyed riding, and this is just a longer version of that with that extra hell. We've got a few other parks in the UK. We've got one at Paulton's Park, I believe, and one at Oakwood. So there's a few of these around in the UK. Yeah, real nice filler ride. But like I said, it's kind of debatable if this can be classed as a roller coaster or not. There's an Aquajump, a high dive show as well. That'll be really cool if it's a permanent fixture in the park. We've usually seen these kinds of high dive shows more as a temporary show. There's one at Pleasurewood Hills, one at Toverland, from what I know as well. Never seen them, but they look cool. I've seen videos of them, to be fair. So the Hall of Columns, that's going to be the name of the restaurant in Aqualantis. That'll look quite cool if there's loads of columns around, I guess, as you can see here in the patio area as well. So yeah, very much Atlantis themed, and like I said, there's also a bit of steampunk in here. So Merchant of Aqualantis, that's a retail shop. And then, of course, we've got the calendar for next year, 2020, and leading into 2021. Now, the big change is that the park is opening the same around about the middle of April. It's actually going to open on the 4th of April from 10 till 6. That's the opening day of the season. The following weekend it is closed, but then we're into the 13th of April, and it'll just be open the whole year round until October, when we've got a Halloween event. It's the same as this past weekend. I think they had the Halloween event, and then most of November the park will be closed. Leading into December, this is going to be the first time that the park is actually going to be open for the Christmas season, so there'll be some kind of Christmas events. That should be really good, and that leads into the 10th of January 2021. So big change there is that the park will be open later on in the season next year as well. I have read that from 2024 or 2025 the park is looking to be open all year round, so it's really moving into that sort of Disneyland Efteling experience where you can go anytime you want and get on most of the rides, with probably some of the water rides being closed, I would assume, when it's too cold. That's really it for these visualizations. There was some more on a forum I saw, a little bit lesser quality, but gives you an idea of how some of the areas are going to look. There's not a station on this disco coaster here in this visualization, so I don't think that's 100% accurate or complete, but it gives you an idea of the layout of things, I guess. And that's the slow boat ride over here. Looks really good. So that's what we got out of this conference. We do know that there's another roller coaster being built or will be built at Energylandia, which is the Mine Train coaster, and there's already some information about that on RCDB, but we don't know exactly what's happening with that. The track is on site, it's red. It's going to be probably longer than the standard Mine Train layout, I would assume, which is kind of a basic 2 lift hill layout. There might be 3 lift hills here. I'll probably do a separate video about this Mine Train eventually if we know a little bit more, but it could be that they're holding off with this until there's maybe more time to consider theming for this. I'm not sure what's happening with it yet, and so this might slip into the following year. I don't know, I'm not quite sure. We'll see what happens with that. It's kind of weird that the track is already on site, but then we've seen that with Abyssus as well. The track has been at Energylandia for months and months, I think since like May or something like that. So it's maybe just the way that Vekoma are doing things with this park, supplying the track very early, and actually the installation of the coaster is just going to be much later, as we've seen with Abyssus, of course. So they're prepping the area now. I don't think there's any track work has gone up yet, but it will be very soon. When is it going to open? Well, no one really knows yet. There's some rumors that some people have said the 6th of April, but that's of course wrong because the park isn't even open on that week. Could it be May? I'm not sure. It might be more likely that it's going to slip into the summer season, June, July. I would have thought it's definitely going to be open July, August. I was considering going out to Energylandia for the first time, April, May, see what happens with that. If we have a more up-to-date opening date of the Aqualantis area, might hold off, but we'll see early next year, I guess. So please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll give you any updates with regards to the build of Aqualantis and if we know an opening date early on next year. I think it looks really exciting, the theming looks really good, and it's really nice that we're going to get a couple of extra rides, the slow boat ride, the splash battle and that disco coaster, and of course there'll be a high diving show to see as well. So really cool. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.